Hello. Hi, it's Sally. And today I've got a different kind of a question. It's about spirits in the house or negative energy in the house. Now, I'm not sure if the guys are going to answer this one, but I know I can answer it just on personal experience, based on my years as a real estate agent and being a psychic at the same time. I've seen a lot of houses. They've had a lot of different kinds of energy. And here's what you do. I'm going to start with an example from Antebellum, Georgia. I was showing a house once that had a spirit in it of a young woman who had a hard time during the 1860s, if you know what I mean. So she was stuck there. And that's what happens when you have actual uh, quasi-corporeal spirits in your house. What happens is they're in a not full dimension. They're not in the third dimension. They're kind of stuck in the fourth. They haven't been able to go to the next place, go transition on to where your spirit can be comfortable. So essentially, they're stuck in the closest thing to horribleness that's possible, and so they're just reliving and reliving and reliving and reliving this issue. There was a lot of that in Georgia because of the Civil War. So that being said, this particular spirit, a lot of them don't even know they're dead, but she just knew she was lonely and unhappy. So all I did, I brought the people in. They said, "Oh, it's dark and cold in here," and I could see her sitting there crying. And so I asked them to go out of the house for a minute, and I had a little talk with her and showed her where the light was. And this is what you do. You imagine in your heart that you really care. This is a sick person. This is just a person, right? They have nothing. They half the time they don't even know you're there. Occasionally they do. That's another story. But this is what you do. You just imagine that you have created a candle with your love from your heart for this person. And you say, you create this candle in a way that when they touch it, it becomes a portal to the next place for them. And for her, she didn't want the candle. That also happens. No, I can't go. I have to wait for him. Yeah, that happens. So essentially what you do then is you just take I'm in physical and you're not kind of a thing. You just make your physical energy uncomfortable for them to be near. And you just say, okay, go outside for now. You don't have to be mean. That's the thing, is you don't have to be mean. Although if you do yell at spirits, they don't care for it. It's the force of your of the vibration of the energy of the anger will force them out. But you don't want to do that. All you want to do is, here's your candle. Boom. A lot of people talk about sage. It doesn't last. You can sage and sage and sage and sage, and it doesn't last. And you can add crystals and crystals and crystals. They're still going to come back. I'm sorry. They're going to want to get whatever it is done, or whatever they believe. Remember, if you believe it, it's true. Doesn't matter what it is, living or dead. If you believe it, it's true, and it becomes your primary thing. So just remember that. So whatever it is you believe will be true for you, whether or not it is true. And this woman believed that she had to wait for her man to come back, who has been dead for 150 years, right? So if you believe it, it's true. Remember that. So what you're going to have to do with a spirit like that is somehow communicate to them about their present situation. And that's what I did with her. I said, here, step outside. This is what's going on. Here's your candle. Boom. And then she left. And then the house was clear. And the couple actually bought the house because the bedroom suddenly, heated up, 15 degrees, and it got bright and sunny again. Because that'll, your house will feel gloomy. Now, there is another type of thing called the vibration of negative forces. I have walked in houses where there's been horrible acts taking place in the house. I had a friend who rented a house and couldn't understand why she felt so uncomfortable in this house. But I didn't even want to walk in the doorway. I could feel the absolute horror of the moment. There was a murder, two of them. One of the children go dinghy and kill their parents, kind of a thing. really, really, really horrible. And so all that vibration was there. There were no actual spirits there, but all that vibration, because it was only a short time before. It was illegal that they didn't tell her that had happened, but evidently there's a loophole in Tennessee that you don't have to tell people if it's rented. You do if you sell it. You don't, but you don't have to if it's rented. So anyway, so what you did in that situation is saging does help, but not always if the vibration is such that. So, and this is a place where crystal vibrations do help, amethysts and quartz, and do your research. Crystal can help clear the negative energy. And then the final thing is what I call heart energy. You just come in and you just send clearing love through. You just love. Love is the strongest force there is. There's no force, there's no energy vibration that's stronger than love. Do you get that? It's not love as in lust. It's love as in pure appreciation, pure satisfaction, pure acceptance. That's what we mean by love for these spirits. So or this energy. You just move your heart energy. I once lived in a house where there was a lot of stuck energy and a lot of quote unquote ghosts. There's a lot of haunted houses in the South. I'm sorry. If you live in an old house, it's guaranteed it's haunted. But you can make friends with your inhabitants. This particular house had a reputation of quote unquote causing bankruptcy. And we changed the energy. It was physically very hard on me. I didn't realize that. And that's what you need to notice. If you are holding up the house, holding up the spirits of the house, then you may notice it's physically hard on you. So then you're going to want to sage, and you're going to want to send love energy through the house, and you're going to want to place the white candles. It's not a ritual, it's an energetic clearing, because you're just essentially saying, I'm in physical, you're not. I want to clear this and own this space. And if you come at it gently, it's exactly like if you got a raccoon in there. Are you going to get angry with a raccoon? No, just excuse me, raccoons cannot live in my attic. It's the exact same feeling of that. Do you understand? So do get help if you're worried. It's not a big deal. It is simply that I'm in physical and you're not. And I own this space. If you had a squatter in your back bedroom, would you go, oh, I'm afraid of you, I can't come near you? No, you'd say, excuse me, this is my house, you can leave now. And that's the same energy you take. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be hateful. You just have to say, this is unacceptable and you must go. And 9 times out of 10, it works. I lived in a house once that was already 100 years old when it became an antebellum hospital. And for the Civil War, in the Civil War, a lot of young men were sick and wounded at the same time. So let's just say there were a lot of spirits wrapping around in that place. And they'd like to play games on me, like steal things from me and lock me out at inopportune moments. And that was the one time I understood that when you get really, really, really angry with a ghost, they will change. But this was a whole group of ghosts. I mean, they used to physically touch me. They used to, pinch me. And it's just really, anyway, they didn't want to hurt me. They just wanted to pick with me like young boys do with girls. I was a young woman at the time. And I was in my early 20s. So, hey, they were being kids. And when you get angry, they do feel the vibration of the anger. In that respect, I didn't know about the candles. I would have put candles out and they could have all gone to the next place. But at least when you do get angry, they hear you. You don't have to be angry all the time. You just have to say, hey, stop it, cut it out. I can't stand this anymore. And so I used to do really fun things, like as I was just about to step into the back door, they'd lock it on me and there was no key. And so I had to turn around and crawl in through the front window. Yeah, fun things like that. Until finally one day I got very, very angry and yelled at them about locking me out of the house. At the time, I wasn't wearing any clothes because it was an old house and the bathroom was in the yard, you know. The shower and the bathroom was outside of the house. It was in a whole nother building. That's how old the house was. They didn't have indoor plumbing when the house was built. So I was naked. They locked me out. I had a screaming fit, sat down on the back porch steps to cry. And the next thing I know, I hear a click and the door was opened again. That's how I learned that if you get angry at a ghost, they'll cut it out. I hope this helps. I know this is different than my usual stuff. This is from me personally as a person. And understand you can clear the negative energy and you can ask the ghosts to leave either through sage, white candles, crystals. They don't always work, but the energy works with the sage and the crystals. You do clear energy that way. Have fun. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. And don't be afraid you're in physical and they're not. Even those little boogers couldn't hurt me. All those little boys touching me, they still couldn't hurt me. They could steal stuff, they could hide stuff, they could lock me out, but they couldn't physically hurt me. So have fun, guys. All right? Bye-bye.